listening to the Betmaker Show. This is the PGA Bermuda Championship betting odds preview for Monday, October 28th, 2019. And now, live from Las Vegas, the host of the Betmaker Show, Brian Blessing.
Ready to rock and roll. We're talking golf. It's late in the fall, but we've got big stuff. We got the President's Cup coming up down the road. We got a WGC event. They are awesome. No cut, best players in the world. We have an under-tier tournament that could still produce some nice odds for us. Brian Blessing in Las Vegas, north of the border. The one, the only Cam Stewart, as we're ready to talk golf. And I got to tell you, Cam, Tiger Woods, Ty Sam Snead, 82 wins, a remarkable accomplishment, wins the Zozo Championship. But Cammy, you and I were talking about this. He bogeys the first three holes. You can get into that in a second. But I'm telling you, tee to green over 4 days, Tiger Woods, and he hit the ball right down the middle with the driver. His distance control, putting, everything. Tiger Woods turned the clock back 15 years this past weekend. What does it mean to the future?
Oh, it means, he's going to be in contention. He already has a mental edge, Brian, over everybody in the field, and you saw at the Masters, you don't see guys like Francisco Molinari and world-class players crumble. Tiger Woods, once he has a lead, he closes the door. That's the problem. It's hard to win on the PGA Tour. Golf's tough. He makes it look easy. I knew I was done. I had Hideki Matsuyama in second there. I'm thinking, ooh, big payday. He's only down a couple.
Shot.
No, there's no shot. That's what I told my buddy. He goes, oh, he's got a chance. I go, he has no chance. You don't watch golf, obviously, as much as I do. He is done. And what can you do? Another second place finish there, 22-1. I had him, Brian. But you know what? Tiger Woods, you said it, man. I'm going to be looking at this guy. The problem is the odds. What do you get him at? And you're going to have to pick your spots with him because there's going to be tournaments where he just gets tired. He's older. He's not even going to be there. We have to really pick our spots, and we can make some money with this guy.
But I wasn't being mean to you, pal, but you had no shot.
I know. Oh,
right?
Of course, you're being realistic.
They showed the graphic. He is the greatest rabbit in the history of sports. They said when he had a 3-shot lead, he never lost. And that might have been 54 times. But basically, when he had a lead going into the final round, be it 1, 2, 3, or more shot lead, 98% of the time, Woods won the tournament.
That's crazy. Think about all the guys we've had with 3-shot leads on 18 that have lost tournaments. Robert Garrigus, maybe a few, and a handful of times, too, the same people. That's the thing. That's what separates Tiger Woods. He's a machine. They had a nice little video. He talked about meeting Sam Snead for the first time when he was 5 years old. Now 82 wins on tour. That's the thing, Brian. It's just, I got to be honest with you, too. I really thought he was going to be done. And then I saw the slow, gradual comeback. And we have to give him a lot of credit. It's a young man's game right now. But that's the thing. When Tiger Woods, he has the killer instinct. When we talk about the get-along gang and you're making so much money, he grew up differently than these guys. He loves to beat you down. He's kind of like him and Brooks Koepka. That's one thing they have in common. They'll give you a handshake, and then they're thinking, I want to murder this guy when I play golf with him today. The get-along gang's thinking, how do I have sex with my wife again? We're going to that keg party tonight. Who's going to be there? Hugh Hefner, let's go to the mansion. You know what I mean? I get it. You're rich. But these guys, not only is Tiger rich, him and Koepka have other things that guys don't have. They love to beat you. It's a competitive thing, and that's a lot of guys on tour just don't have it.
All right.
It's true, though. It's true.
No, buddy, but I honestly, I'm just thinking of the ramification is moving forward because 1 week to the next, you don't know, if he's stiff or sore. But if he's fine, he's right there, and he's still he's number 6 in the world again.
It's unbelievable. We've seen guys in golf. That's the thing. A lot of these other guys, like Lee Westwood, when they went to 300, no, they're not number 6. That's the thing. They got their game back. They started to make some cuts. They made a little bit of money. But to be 6 in the world from a guy, Brian, that I thought might not win a golf tournament, let alone a major and another big tournament, I'm in shock, actually.
He couldn't walk.
I know.
2 years ago, he wins the tour championship at East Lake. He wins the Masters. and he wins it. He's won now.
It's crazy.
3 times in a little over a calendar year.
It's crazy, and now he's got that hunger back. You even saw in the interview, Brian, he has that look in his eye now. You know what I mean? That kind of wry smile, thinking, okay, I can do this again. I know I could win. I know if I have a lead, I'm going to finish the deal because I always do. Come get me. And these other guys, these young players are on notice right now. They talk about all the youth movement and stuff. Yeah, give me a break. When I'm watching golf, Bernard Longer dominating on the senior tour, Tiger Woods, and that's the beautiful thing about the game. If your body totally doesn't break down, old guys can win because a lot of them have the mental edge.
Well, and we'll put Tiger to bed here. But the thing that's remarkable, as you watched it, and I could feel for you had Matsuyama. But you're standing there, you're going, I'm toast on a stick because, the older he gets, and you think all these things mean so much more to him now, but you would think there'd be nerves.
No.
He's a cyborg. Did he ever look out of control? Did he ever look shaky? You know what I mean? It was like, you would think after all these times, it's been, I'm not what I was.
Yeah.
And there'd be a chink in the armor and maybe some nerves, and like he made a mistake. He comes back flag hunting and gets a birdie on the next hole.
Who starts a tournament bogey, and wins? I was talking, Brian, and me and you talked about this before. We'll get to the HSBC champions, and I got a problem with the odds here. But I'll tell you, this guy might have been 1 or 2 bogeys away from walking off the course with a WD, and I win about $2,000 with Hideki, right? So, but that's the thing about Tiger Woods. He rights the ship. Birdie after bogey, birdie. Oh, just a smooth 66.
Here, you'll appreciate this. And I swear, this is it.
Yeah.
I'm Tiger. But I swear you'll appreciate this. Talk about bookending your career. I mean, this is a Zozo Championship. I mean, it's a nice tournament, and it's a tough course.
It is tough.
And it was, by the way, it's remarkable that they were able to, that course, it was a river after a typhoon hit it, that they even played golf. That was remarkable. But you talk about something eerily similar, different animal. But remember, Tiger shot 40 on the front 9 at the Masters, went on and dominated, and the most historic win in 97 blew the world away. And he shot a 40 on the front 9 at the Masters and just stepped on everybody's neck. He bogeyed the first 3 holes here, and literally, Cam, like Brooks Koepka was in Vegas 2 weeks earlier. He's like, I'm out of here. Tiger could have said, I made all my money. I came here. I met all the Japanese kids. And he just stepped on their neck.
He knows if he has a chance to win, he's not going anywhere, Brian. And hey, kudos to him. He's cost me a lot of money over the days when I've had probably a million second-place guys against him at big odds. But when push comes to shove, you got to take Tiger Woods. He's leading in the tournament. Don't even bother thinking about somebody else who's going to win, right, Brian? Just let it be, because you're going to be pissing away money betting on anybody else.
For outstanding information and special offerings and promotions, we invite you and encourage you to sign up for our newsletter today simply by going to the website at betmaker.com.
This week, Brian, take a look at the odds board.
Let's go.
I see. We'll talk about this. We got the HSBC champions in Shanghai. How the hell is Rory McIlroy 6-1 to win this tournament? Like, I have had enough. I don't care if he came back for a third. Hideki came second. He's 12-1. Oh yeah, Rory McIlroy. I don't care if he wins 6-1. That's ridiculous. If you bet that, wow, good on you. But I would have put him at 50.
What's this? I'll give you a head-to-head matchup, and just to say this, and I guarantee what you'll say. Rory McIlroy 6-1. Xander Schauffele is the defending champion, 16-1. He played well in Japan. Okay, a head-to-head matchup. Xander Schauffele, Rory McIlroy. If you're looking at these odds, McIlroy should be minus $4. I would take Xander Schauffele all day long.
I agree. And the thing is, when the matchup comes out, if it is McIlroy versus Schauffele, what do you think it'll be? Probably $1.60, $1.70. But they're telling you right now that you're telling me Rory McIlroy 10 points better than Schauffele. He's 6-1 and Schauffele 16-1. I'll tell you something. Nope. No McIlroy. I will look at Schauffele at 16-1. I know Hideki was pretty low at 22-1 on some books. I know some spots he was 18, but that was a number I could deal with. But I'm looking at the top of the card here, Brian, and let's just staring at Rory. Pass.
I'm with you.
Where do we start things here? Do we start it with another guy who's
Schauffele. I think Schauffele.
I agree. At 16-1, and we'll tell the people, the listeners, we always look for something usually 20 plus, 30, 40. We like to get the big payout, but you know what? I like your line. A rip ticket, you know what I mean? There's no value in a rip ticket. So we got to think about guys who can win this tournament. Schauffele at 16-1 looks good to me. And these guys hovering around the 30-plus range, like Bernd Wiesberger, he's another guy. People go, oh, yeah, Bernd Wiesberger on the European Tour. When he leads, he wins. He's a guy who can close the door. Matt Wallace is a guy who should close the door a little bit more, Brian. Very good player, but just hasn't been able to put 4 rounds together. Very disappointed in his Sunday performances. He should have a few more wins under his belt, but at 35-1, he's a good player.
How about this one, Cam? For a number of reasons, but a lot of times it's who closes a tournament well and then carries momentum. How about, and he's one of my favorite sons because I had Shane Lowry in the British Open at 80-1, and you win a major, a lot of these guys, you disappear. I mean, it just takes the air out of the balloon and you disappear for a long time. Well, he's still drinking out of the claret jug, but he closed the final round at the Zozo, Cammy, with a 65. He started 71, 69, 67, 65 very quietly. Shane Lowry's playing some good golf, and I think that is one juicy little price on Shane Lowry, 40-1.
Nice call, Brian. That's a good eye. People won't look at Lowry, too. They're like, what has he done since the Open Championship? But we watch it every week. He's getting on leaderboards, and that's the thing. Usually that one bad round, and that's what happens to all these guys. I like Lowry, too, at that price. I'm probably going to pass on Matt Wallace because of his closing problems, and I'll give you another guy, a guy that you take almost every single week, Matthew Fitzpatrick. I think Lowry at 40 and Fitzpatrick at 45. If we're going to take Schauffele at 16, those are the other 2 guys that I like at those prices. I think Fitzpatrick at 45. He's got to learn how to. That's the thing, though, Brian. Good point by you. Lowry closed the door at the Open Championship. Fitzpatrick's been close, but the last tournament he lost to Bernd Wiesberger. Like, he's a young kid, but I think once he gets it, he's going to be winning a lot, and I'll take a chance at 45.
The other one, it almost pains me to even say I'd play this guy, but he's so consistent, and can he take it to the next level? But just from an overlay, I don't think Chez Reavie should be 80-1 in anything he's playing. All right, I mean, isn't he? He's a top 10 threat every time.
Yeah, he's in great. The thing about Chez Reavie, what a year. And that's the thing. You look at him, he's a small guy. You're like, he's not very intimidating. But if you look at results, lots of top 10s. He's been in contention. And I'll tell you one thing. You look at guys like Phil Mickelson at 70-1, who I don't even think, who might come last in this tournament. Like, I'm definitely not going to take him. And Chez Reavie, we're getting 80-1 instead of Phil at 70. Yeah, I could buy into Chez Reavie. Eric Von Ruin was a guy that I liked earlier on the European Tour. He hasn't been as good. He had a great start to the season, always in contention, faded a little bit, but he's also a world-class player, Brian, at 70-1 that I'm kind of looking at, but I like where you're going with Reavie.
I got a weird one for you, my friend. At a grenade price.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
I'm going to say...
You won't get it.
I think
if
I
you
might.
Get this, you're my hero.
Okay, I think I'm going to take not JJ, not Jazz. I think you're going to go with Richard Sterne or Benjamin Hebert. One of those two.
Nice guesses, but no. How about...
Vander Lombard?
No. How
225?
Listen to this one.
Okay.
And I'll talk you into it, too. Keegan Bradley. Keegan Bradley shoots 69.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, Keegan Bradley shoots a 69, a 63. Yep. But then he shoots a 71 in the third. He does that a lot. But in the third round, which was also bled into 9 holes, or whatever it ended up being, more than that, 12 holes, 11 holes of the fourth round. He was playing alongside Tiger Woods.
Yeah, that's a problem.
But he's sitting there watching this guy, watching and learning, seeing what he did, how he does it, how he goes about. And oh, by the way, Bradley closed with a flourish in the final 7 holes. I think that experience, and Tiger not here, he's not playing with Tiger. I think Keegan Bradley takes a lot away from what he just went through with Tiger, and could be up there and make some noise. That price is stupid.
That is a stupid price.
90-1.
Keegan Bradley, I would have put him probably in the, let's just say, Robert McIntyre kind of range, around 60, 66 with Louis. Bradley, that's the thing about Bradley. He can win a tournament. This guy, right, Brian? Players champion. He's won big tournaments before. The thing about him is, just as I said before, it is hard to put together 4 rounds of golf. It is almost impossible. You have that slip up, and that's what makes Tiger Woods so special. After his slip up, he gives himself the self-chat and then goes bananas the other way and knows how to close out what should have been an overpower round into a 6-under round or a 7-under round. So Keegan Bradley at 90-1, I agree. Nice form. Playing with Tiger's got to inspire him. I agree. I thought you were digging even deeper, Brian. That grenade might kill a few. I thought you were heading in the 200-1 range, but Bradley at 90, very nice price.
Yeah, no, and honestly, I mean, he was kind of off the radar a little bit, but he was right there. He was on the big stage for the whole weekend with Tiger, and I thought he was right there. He missed a bunch of putts. I didn't think he played, poorly. I mean, Gary Woodland looked like he was going to be a runaway winner, and then he ended up paired with Tiger on the weekend, and he was just kind of running alongside him. He couldn't do anything. I think Bradley gets a lot out of that.
Yeah, he's T13. You're right. The 71 killed him. He had a 63 in there, which was pretty special too. I like where you're going though. The more I'm looking at this thing, Xander Schauffele though, Brian, he went 66, 68, 66, 65, 72 for a T10 last week for 10th place. He's got to be my first choice at 16. And I really like where you're going with Lowry. That's a sneaky play too after a final round 65. Let's hope he keeps up the momentum.
All right. Now, our podcast, we introduced the world to Lanto Griffin, the FedEx Cup leader.
This guy should be greasing us. Where's Lanto? Where's our residuals? Nobody even know who you were. Now he's a co-favorite at the Bermuda Championship with Alex Noren.
Well, you know what? The one thing I haven't watched closely enough, but I have to believe that his Lanto Griffin's caddy's got to be like 6'4", 280, all bulked out. I mean, he's a caddy security guard. yes.
4. Yeah, no, Lanto. It's amazing though, Brian. It's like we talked about this guy when he was in the 150-1 range. Since we were doing the golf show, he won, and now he's a co-favorite here at the Bermuda Championship. Weekend field. 14-1. I'm not sure if I could take Lanto at that price again, but hey, he's going to be there in the top 10. He's just in great form right now. But if I'm going to look a little bit deeper in a B type tournament, I got to go with a guy that you joked about, Maverick McNeely at 50-1. I think that looks pretty good to me. When the hell's Peter Uihlein going to do anything? That's another guy. I'm not betting him, but I thought he was going to have a better career so far. He's got to break out pretty soon. But I think if I'm going to take anybody, I'm going to be looking at Maverick McNeely at 50-1. And how the mighty have fallen, Brian. Brendan Grace, world-class player, 45-1 in this tournament in that field. Wow.
I'm scuttling through here, the field, trying to see. I was looking for an Alex Chayka sighting. If he's in there, he'd be about a gazillion to 1, but that's the kind of tournament he'd show up. But I would tell you, I'm focused on the HSBC. But there's one guy I will absolutely play against a field like this. There's no way Scott Stallings should be 60-1.
I agree. Scott Stallings at 60-1. And another guy that I'm looking at, I know he's a little bit low in price, but just quality of player in this field, Russell Knox at 22. Wouldn't be shocked if he won.
All right. Big week of golf coming up. Tiger put on a show, but we're trying to make some money, and we think we got some opportunities with a WGC event. And they'll be teeing it up in the Bermuda Championship with Cam Stewart. I'm Brian Blessing. Thanks for joining us. We love to tee it up with you.
Betmaker, let's make some money tonight.
Well, that's the Betmaker Show for now. We publish multiple times each week. We'd like to thank you for listening. And if you liked what you heard, please take a moment to leave a rating and review or subscribe to our show feed. Or share our show with a friend or two and help us grow the show. We very much appreciate it. Visit us on the web at betmaker.com. And reminder to sign up for the newsletter. Thanks to our engineer, Darren Vandermolen, and producer, Mike Gallivan. The Betmaker Show is a production of Cardinal Marketing Incorporated. Betmaker is a registered trademark. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or other use of this content without the express written consent of Cardinal Marketing Incorporated is strictly prohibited.
The handicapping and sports odds information contained on this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Please confirm the wagering regulations in your jurisdiction, as they vary from state to state, province to province, and country to country. Using this information to contravene any law or statute is prohibited. The podcast is not associated with, nor is it endorsed by any professional or collegiate league, association, or team. This podcast does not target and is not intended for an audience under the age of 18. If you think that you have a gambling addiction, stop this podcast now and please seek help.
Gambling and betting on sports is a form of entertainment and should be about having a good time. But when done excessively, it may negatively affect other areas of a person's life, such as their physical and mental health, school or work performance, finances, and or interpersonal relationships. At Betmaker.com and The Betmaker Show, we're concerned about the addiction that gambling may cause, and for this reason, we encourage everyone to practice responsible gambling, an approach to gambling that helps you ensure that it remains an enjoyable activity. Here are the main principles of responsible gambling. Don't think of gambling as a way to make money. Always gamble with money that you can afford to lose. Set limits and stick to them. Never chase losses. Don't gamble when you're depressed or upset, and create a healthy balance. Always be aware of how much time you spend gambling or thinking about gambling. And do not allow gambling to cause you to miss out on time with family and friends or time spent on other activities you enjoy. By following these guidelines, gambling can be a good time and great entertainment. If you feel at any time that your gambling is taking away from important areas of your life, is causing you stress or depression, or is leading to financial losses that are beyond your control, please reach out for help. Learn more at responsiblegambling.org.